My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the NECA Ultimate Edition's Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the T-1000. And so here we have the Ultimate T-1000 posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. The T-1000 does come with 3 different head sculpts. We do have the head that he has on him right now with that stern expression. We have a head sculpt where he has a hole blasted through his head. And then we also do have another head where his head has been sliced in half. He also comes with 2 different torsos. We do get the standard torso, which is on him right now. We also do get the secondary torso, which has bullet holes in him and he's regenerating. He comes with 2 different sets of forearms. We have the regular forearms, which look really nice, and then we do get his metallic claw forearms. He comes with several sets of hands. We do get a pair of relaxed hands. We have a pair of hands where he's torturing Sarah Connor with his finger extended. And then he comes with a pistol grip hand. He also comes with his handgun, which does fit in his pistol grip hand. And if you don't want him holding it, it does fit in his side holster. Other than that, not really sure what more you would want to include with the T-1000. I think he is the ultimate in Terminator villains, and they have yet to come up with something that is just as menacing as the T-1000, in my opinion. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to his details. So here we have a closer look at the T-1000, and NECA once again has a really good likeness to the actor. I think they did a really good job of sculpting Robert Patrick's face. The only thing is they did hand paint it. Now if they had used the new photoreal technology that they are using on some of their newer figures, this would be so much better, but as it stands, this is still a really good interpretation of Robert Patrick, so really good job by NECA there. He also kind of does look like he belongs in Beavis and Butthead just because of how elongated his head is. But that's just me. It looks fine, but I'm just pointing that out, that he has a really elongated head. And he kind of has this yellow hue to him. The other figures didn't have this problem. I think it's the paint that they use that has too much yellow in it, that he kind of looks like he belongs in The Simpsons a little bit. I don't know, that's just me. You guys might not see it, but on my camera it really does look that way. Having a look at his torso here, you can see that NECA did an extremely well job sculpting this figure. Now, just like with the T-800, this is a hodgepodge of old and new figure. The old figure is going to be from the torso up, the new figure is going to be from the waist down. And they did that just to incorporate the interchangeable torso, where we have his regular torso, and then we have the torso that he has bullet holes in him that he's starting to regenerate. It does come off, and just by looking at it you can tell this does take up a lot of articulation, so he does not have an ab crunch or anything underneath this. We do have regular ball hinges here at the arms, and that is a really old joint. Again, from the waist up, this is a figure we have seen in the past. NECA just applied new legs and called it an ultimate figure. Really do like how his arms look here. Now, my only problem with mine is that the right arm has a tendency to come loose. It doesn't fall off, as you can see. It's not falling off no matter what I do, but once in a while I will notice that it has slid down, and that's a little bit of an issue for me. I don't like that. Unfortunately, I haven't seen another T-1000 in store, so I can't replace mine at the moment. So for now, that's just going to have to be the way it is. And you can see there's already some paint rub right there. Moving on to his belt, they did a really good job with his belt. You can see it has the belt buckle painted nicely. The holes for his belt are sculpted there. We do, of course, have his holster right here with a little tab right there that you can clip this in. However, when you have the gun in, it's almost impossible. The gun doesn't go in deep enough, and you really can't tab this in with the gun inside. So A for effort, but it's poorly executed. We do have some more pouches right here, which again are sculpted and painted really nicely. I do like that. We have the walkie-talkie right here with the radio antenna, which does seem like you might break that if you are not careful. So do be aware of that antenna as you're messing with him. And right there, the arm just came off, as you guys can see. A little bit unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. So from the waist down, this is an Ultimate Editions figure. The original T800 and T-1000 had static legs with minimal joints. This figure has completely new legs where he has hip joints, knee joints, and ankle joints. So I do appreciate that NECA did go back and retool the legs on this figure. I just kind of wish they had retooled this figure completely, and I would almost be in the minority to say I would rather not have this secondary torso and pick up a second T-1000 and have him with ab articulation instead of having the interchangeable T-1000 where if we lose that ab articulation. I might be in the minority in that situation, but honestly I would prefer having to buy a second version of the T-1000 and having the bullet holes on that if it meant we got articulation in his abdomen. For his boots, I don't know why I went on a tangent right there, but that's just the way I am. His boots do look really nice, and they did paint his soles brown. And then of course we do have pegals underneath his feet. So overall this is a really okay figure. There are some issues with him, especially seeing as how he's an older figure from the waist up, including that neck joint, which we will have a look at in his articulation. So with all that taken care of, guys, let's actually compare him to other figures you may have in your collection. So here we have the T-1000 posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have the T-1000 posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have the T-1000 posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we have the T-1000 posed next to the T-800 and the Ultimate Edition Sarah and John Connor. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to his articulation. Now, the T-1000 here has really limited articulation in the torso, mainly because of that interchangeable ability. Again, I would rather prefer having to buy a second version and get that articulation rather than lose it. Honestly, that's just me, but let's move on to his articulation. We do have a ball joint at the neck, and because of the way the collar is shaped, he can't really look up. He does look down. Unfortunately, it does pop his head off. Now, on mine, it's just like my Mezco Frankenstein. When I have it on, it doesn't fall off easy, but the moment I start moving it around, you can see how loose it is. It doesn't fall off, it's just really, really loose. But then when I just put it back in, it's perfectly fine. So, don't know what's going on there. Head does rotate left and right, no problem. We do have hinge swivels right here at the shoulder. It only goes up, that's better than the T-800. Does go all the way around. Because of the way this is sculpted, it does go off to the side, which is a little bit unfortunate. And again, that arm keeps coming out of place. No bicep swivel, but we do have a single hinge at the elbow, giving us better than 90 degrees, which I do like that. And this arm hasn't fallen off yet. So we do have a swivel and hinge at the elbow. We do have a ball joint here at the wrist, and it's just a ball peg, so it just moves around on that joint. No abdomen articulation, so we just get a waist swivel, which isn't ideal, and I would have preferred having that articulation in the abdomen. Legs do kick forward quite a bit, really do like that range. They go back to about there. How far out does he go? Breaking his arm, he does a complete splits. I don't know how he would break his arm when doing the splits, but I've heard of stranger things. Let's actually just bend that really fast. So he does do the splits well. We do have a thigh swivel up high in the hip. We have a knee joint, which gives us a close to 90, but not quite, and it does swivel right there. I want to say he has a ball joint here at the ankle, but it appears it's just a swivel, which isn't ideal. I would have liked to see a ball joint there, or even just a hinge, because a swivel really doesn't do anything. So that's the T-1000 for you. A little bit disappointing in the articulation department, but he really wasn't doing kung fu moves. He was just a slow moving menace, and that's what I liked. Except when he was running, that was pretty impressive. But overall, really like the way this figure looks. Could be better in articulation. So with that being said, guys, let's actually move on to my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Ultimate Edition T-1000 pose for my final thoughts, and overall NECA has done a great job with this figure. They could have done an amazing job if they had just updated the articulation on this figure. I would have actually preferred having more articulation and less accessories than the way we got it. Again, I'm all for the battle damage torso, but I would have liked to see some articulation in that torso, and you can't do it if you have to interchange it. Me personally, I would rather have paid for two different versions of the T-1000. I would like to see the polished version and then a battle damage version and get more articulation. But this is actually pretty good if you just want one version of the T-800 or T-1000 with poseability options. I do like the accessories he comes with. It actually works. My only complaint on mine is that that right elbow does have a tendency to just slip down and then become loose, but it doesn't fall off, so it's not a huge deal. I would have liked to see a little bit more accessories with him, especially in terms of weapons. I think the claw hands look good, but unfortunately they're curved in, so you really can't have them like clawing. I would like to see two versions where the hooks were facing down, but honestly that's just me. If you are looking for the T-1000 here, he is starting to show up at Target stores at the time I'm making this video because of the release of the John and Sarah Connor 2-pack. The T-1000 and T-800 are available on store shelves once again, and they will run you about $30. I did pick up my T-1000 from my local Target, so I did find them out in the wild. If you can't find them, I know there's other places that do have them at this time. So if you are a fan of Terminator, you're going to want to have the T-1000 in your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other NECA reviews. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos. And as always, I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone.